Hi, this is Maginoni, and here's my review for New Mutants number 17. Now, I'm somewhat enjoying this storyline, but unfortunately what's happening is I've noticed some trends where it's basically they're revisiting, how can I say it right now, typical storyline patterns with how they set up battles and things like that. So to me, it seems that there's really no originality that's going into this other than, okay, here's your basic setup, which is kind of interesting, but let's surround it with rehash or stuff that's just, we've already seen before. Now, the art's okay. It's not great, but it's, it's passable. It kind of reminds me a lot of like an older style in that it's really kind of simple. There's not a lot of like interesting backgrounds, especially when you're in Limbo. You would think that you can actually come up with some pretty cool ideas, and for the most part, they just did what they just needed to do to get by, to get the issue out on time, which is a shame because I think it's a wasted opportunity for them. And overall, it's okay. I'm kind of curious to see how the battle is going to progress, but the way they ended it, it's kind of like, would they even really technically stand a chance? No, they wouldn't, because the way they set up. Now, from this point on, there's spoilers, so if you haven't read the book, then, come back later. Now, what we have is, like a kind of like a flat, it goes back in time slightly, with Sam and Diane, and they're talking about kissing and stuff like that, and they do that kiss, which happened in the previous issue. Well, it's interrupted with Ilana, and she's like, they've captured Pixie, we gotta go save her, and, Bloodstone, and blah blah blah, and she transforms, and then, I feel really bad for Warlock, he's like, will Self have to fight again? Will Self have to kill? And she's like, get out of here. Because like Sam's like, well, if this is something that's really important, then don't we have to alert the X-Men? And she's like, no, there's no time. And then we have to hurry up. We only have like a week in our time or 3 weeks in Limbo time to get to where we need to go. And they're going to transport basically to Limbo. And I think like this picture's kind of cool. Like this picture's kind of cool. And like in looking at this, it really does look like the old Sal Buscema artwork slightly. I don't know if you people have been reading the old New Mutants, the original series, and that's what it kind of reminded me of slightly. So anyways, they go into Limbo, she amasses the troops, and they're on their merry way. And see, like, so you can see what I mean. Like, if you look in the backgrounds, granted, what do you expect? You expect fire and brimstone, things like that. But I think there's a lot of potential opportunity here. For the most part, they give you what you expect, and they don't really go farther than that. So, basically, they're on their way to try to find these guys here. And over time, it takes, it's not like a simple journey. It's like taking a week to get to this part. And they captured Witchfire, and they're having this thing, well, it's your fault, no, it's your fault, blah blah blah. And then we get this part translated, which is see that she suffers because apparently she's the cause of whatnot. Well, they're trying to remove Pixie's soul's bloodstone thing from the dagger, and then what they're going to do is they're going to basically steal her soul or view her soul, and she uses her powers to cause us hallucinations. Now, this part was alright, the guy sees bees, but this part was kind of funny where he's like, he's seeing this leprechaun, but he's at least smart enough to realize that, it's not, I don't think this is real, is it? Well, from there, they're still traveling, and then you can see their costumes are getting some damage, wear and tear, and we go back here, and then you can see the leprechaun on his shoulders. That's a mighty fine beating it is. And, it's just kind of funny, so I can appreciate the humor that's going into this. Well, sure enough, magic, and then New Mutants appear. The demonic army calls in their backup, and everybody's pretty cocky on both sides. And Magic takes her sword, tries to hit one of them, and then no effect. And then from there, there's the beatdown, and she's pretty much helpless. So if you really think about it, she's probably the most powerful member of the New Mutants for these types of beings, and they're just destroying her. It's like they have no effect on her. Now, granted, maybe Sunspot might be able to do something, and Cannibal will be able to do something. But I mean, if you really look at this team, it's not a very strong team. So I'm really kind of curious to see how they're going to get out of this. Unless, of course, the X-Men come to the rescue, which is a high possibility because these Warlock got transported away. Overall, like I said, I'm kind of iffy on this. I can appreciate the story and the direction it's going, but I just wish it gave me just a little bit more. I don't know how many times have we seen something like this where here's the heroes, here's the villains, hero attacks, no damage, and villains are, how many times does that happen? Maybe come up with something a little different to surprise me. How about maybe villains attack and knock them out immediately? Or, I don't know. I mean, obviously you can't have the heroes beat the villains, but it just seems like when I was reading this, I was just like, oh, yeah, let me guess, no damage. Oh, yep, no damage. And then once you do that, then it unfortunately sets the stage for how powerless she is against these things. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious to see what you guys feel about that. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll have more reviews up probably maybe tomorrow or Tuesday or so. And then definitely a new comic on Wednesday. So until next time.